Hi, it's been already 2 weeks since we made a video of an attempt to keep a watermelon till New Year. Let's try second method this time and see which one will be successful. So now it's time to execute our promise, and this time we are ready as never before. In the previous video we tried to cover the watermelon with a wax, but this time, in order to increase our chances, we are going to try out several methods at once. First of all, we went shopping and tried to pick watermelons with the less scratches and damage as possible. To be honest, it was not that easy, and seems like loaders play football with watermelon while loading them into trucks. So in the end, we brought about 10 watermelons and placed them on the sofa so to keep them safe. Then we started to think about what to do with them. Cookie suggested to eat them, and we nearly agreed to do so, but if we eat them, we will not be able to make the video, and yeah, that was quite logical. Having searched the internet, we found several methods which were likely to work and began our experiment. For the first method, we will need a watermelon and this kind of plastic box that will be suitable for the watermelon. The point of this method is to fill the capacity with clean water and put the watermelon in it and change the water every week. However, as watermelon is a little bit lighter than water, the top of the watermelon was a bit out of water. But it was the point to keep the entire watermelon inside the water, so therefore we took this orange cap, which we sticked on the box with the help of cold glue, and then it pushed watermelon deep into the capacity. It seems like in this method we will isolate the watermelon from oxygen, which might contribute to spoil the watermelon. Then we need to store the watermelon in the cool place where it will be kept till the end of the year. Unfortunately, we don't have a cellar, thus we store it in our garage. For the next watermelon, we need dried hay. We bought it in the underlay for rabbits and other rodents. We place it all in a box with holes which will bring in oxygen for the hay. Then we put the watermelon and backfill it with same hay. Frankly speaking, I don't know how this method works, but I guess that the hay will be absorbing the excessive humidity, or this is just some kind of miracle of nature. So now we need to go outside and take a shower. Then we need to choose a place in our yard or country house and cut this kind of rectangular figure on the grass and lift it properly. Now we get this kind of rectangular shaped land like in Minecraft. Now we need to deepen the pit we got and put the unnecessary dirt in the car. In the depth of 40 cm we found a layer of a clay, and this is good. We will need this later. So now we need tiny stones or expanded clay, which is easy to find in a garden shop. We must backfill the bottom of a pit with expanded clay. Let's humidity to gather there and not on the watermelon. Now let's take some sawdust which we found in a zoo shop and use it in the underlay for banter and fill the pit till it reaches 10 cm. After that, we put there our watermelon. Then we need to cover the watermelon with this sawdust and put the grass cube above it. The point of the method is it's always cool underground. At the same time, it never gets frozen deep in there, as an expanded clay will not let excessive humidity to reach the watermelon. It's so interesting what we will face when it will be digging up there out of watermelon by the year, and those who are subscribed to the channel can see what will happen. Subscribe to the channel if you're interested. It's simple. Now we take a small box and some ordinary rice, which we need to place it in the bottom of the box. Then put a watermelon and cover it with rice so that the watermelon gets entirely buried in it. Cookie, are you still sad that we don't eat watermelon? Place t-shirt on top and it's ready. Do you still remember this t-shirt? For the following method we need any kind of natural textile. So we have a t-shirt which is 100% made from cotton. So it means that we can use it. We need to cover the watermelon with a cloth. Then we must find this kind of net and put the watermelon in it in the cloth of it. And we need to tighten up the top of the net. As our net is a little bit worn, we need to fix it a little bit later. So now we have this kind of little bomb. We take it and go to the garage and hang it on some hook, but don't put it on the floor, as the point of this method is to pressure on this watermelon, which is equal from all sides. For the next method we had to make fire, but don't worry, we're not going to cook the watermelon. When the wood are burnt, it becomes ash, which is some kind of powder which we use to cover the watermelon. You can collect ash from burn. Just don't burn any kind of plastic or some other harmful stuff. Now cover the watermelon with the ash. Better do it outside, as you can make a terrific mess in your house. Then we need to find some dry sand and repeat the same process. Cover the watermelon with it, and I don't really know how it works, but I guess it prevents bad bacteria to reach the surface of the watermelon. Now lift the box and take it to the garage and put it there along with the other boxes with watermelon which were being experimented. If you live in an apartment, then you can use your balcony as a cellar or garage, but it's important to keep the place under 0 degrees. I almost forgot about the clay we got from the pit. We need to put it in a separate plate and pour it with water. Then put it in a microwave in order to get it warmed, so it becomes softer, which we need to pulverize in small pieces. Therefore we use special device for crushing potatoes. By the way, who knows the name of this device? The clay was still solid and hard to break, therefore we started to break off small pieces. After some time we decided to use the potato crusher. We need to knead the clay properly. It takes approximately half an hour and we get this kind of mass with the consistency of mayonnaise. This is what we need. We put this watermelon on same height ground and start to paint on it. It takes quite a lot of time, but this is the least I can sacrifice to eat watermelon in a New Year's Eve. When the watermelon is entirely covered, it needs to be dried. We switched on fan in order to hasten the process. When the first glaze is dry enough, we apply the clay once more and eventually cover the watermelon with 1 and 2 layers of bandage. Imagine that the watermelon is injured and we should cover it with a bandage, as it is the way we prevent the clay from crushing into pieces when it gets dry. A few hours later, when the watermelon is dry, it looks like it's a shell. Now we put it on the box with an underlay made of a hay and put it with the others. As a result, we have 8 methods and hope one of them will work, and it will be very cool if we manage to accomplish by this time. If you're interested about what will happen to the watermelons by the new year, then subscribe to the channel. As some days before the new year comes, we will check all our watermelons and show you what happened to them.